Okay, so if I told you that a company, the one famous for its huge parking lots and the phrase everyday low prices.
The classic American big box store.
Exactly. And I said they were about to officially join the ranks of like Google, Meta, and Amazon.
I'd probably think you were talking about a company back in the 90s, maybe during the dot-com boom.
You'd think I was describing a different era, right?
Yeah.
But that is exactly what the market is grappling with today. We're talking about Walmart.
And its really, really strategic move to the Nasdaq 100.
So what we wanted to do in this deep dive is figure out how did Walmart, ticker WMT, convince a very skeptical investment community that it belongs at the same table as these Silicon Valley giants. We've got a whole stack of sources that lay out the technical proof points, the executive strategy, everything that's driving what they call a fundamental transformation.
And you can't overstate how massive the validation from the index is. I mean, the Nasdaq 100 isn't just any old index.
Right.
It tracks the 100 largest non-financial companies on the Nasdaq exchange.
Yeah.
And it's widely seen as the main bellwether for the tech sector globally.
It's a huge signal.
It's a powerful signal.
Yeah.
It doesn't just raise their profile, it actually changes how large institutional funds, how index tracking ETFs are mandated to view and allocate capital to Walmart. It's almost a reclassification.
Okay, so let's unpack the hard facts first. Our sources confirm the logistics. When is this actually happening?
It's slated to join officially before the market opens on January 20th.
And this date is a big deal for another company too, right? Someone's getting bumped.
That's right. Walmart is replacing the pharmaceutical company AstraZeneca, AZAN.
And that choice isn't random, I take it.
Not at all. It's not arbitrary. It really highlights the shifting priorities of the index itself. I mean, the managers are looking for growth that's defined by platform scale and digital transformation. And in this specific case, they decided Walmart's e-commerce and AI story was just more compelling than AstraZeneca's pharmaceutical story.
What's really fascinating here, though, is the timing. This comes just about a month after Walmart left the New York Stock Exchange.
Venerable NYSE, yeah.
To list exclusively on the Nasdaq in the first place. So they're already sharing a digital home with Alphabet, Amazon, Meta.
It's a statement.
It's a very public statement about where they see their identity now.
It's a complete repositioning, and the executives are. They're really out there reinforcing that message. They're arguing the Nasdaq is just a far better fit for the modern Walmart.
But wait, I have to challenge that just for a second. Is this real innovation, or is it just a very expensive game of catch-up? Walmart is still the world's largest retailer, defined by its physical stores. So why are executives claiming their business no longer centers around the big box store?
Because they argue that the value drivers have fundamentally changed. The central claim is that they've crossed an inflection point.
An inflection point.
Yeah, where their tech platforms and their data capabilities are now generating more margin and more competitive differentiation than just opening another supercenter ever could. They're moving past that old definition.
And to back up a claim that big, they need proof. They need concrete proof points that show they're operating at a scale that rivals Amazon, not just, say, Target.
Exactly. And the sources we looked at, they focus on three critical interconnected areas.
Okay.
First is their booming delivery service. But here's the key difference. Unlike Amazon, which built these huge hubs far from cities.
Right, out in the middle of nowhere.
Walmart is leveraging what it already has, its 4,700 U.S. stores, as mini fulfillment centers. This store as a hub model.
Which lets them get things to people faster, especially if you're not in a major city.
It lets them achieve speeds that rival and sometimes even beat Amazon Prime. And that speed is only possible because of some really complex proprietary routing and inventory software that's running constantly in the background.
So it's not just that they deliver, it's the whole architecture of the network. The blend of physical stores and digital logistics. That's the tech-driven part.
Precisely. It's an advantage Amazon can't easily replicate, not without building thousands of new locations.
Okay, so that's point one. What's the second proof point?
The second is the deployment of automated fulfillment centers. This is what the CEO called physical automation.
Physical automation. That sounds like jargon. What does that actually look like on the ground?
It means they're not just using, basic conveyor belts. They're implementing advanced robotics, machine learning, vision systems, all inside those stores and in their dedicated centers.
But give me a tangible example.
Okay, think about these proprietary micro-fulfillment centers. Sometimes they're literally built into the back of a grocery store.
In the back room.
In the back room. And they use their own software to guide these little bots that go grab items for curbside pickup or for rapid delivery, We're talking about optimizing routes down to the millimeter inside the store itself and using AI to manage where things go on the shelf for the fastest retrieval, automating palletizing, all these complex tasks. They're basically integrating software-driven robotics right into the building's physical structure.
That's the key distinction then. The tech is integrated into the profit centers. It's not just some IT overhead expense.
Exactly. And that brings us to the third piece, the massive scale of their third-party marketplace.
Their direct shot at Amazon's marketplace.
A direct shot. And their pitch to sellers isn't just, hey, we have a lot of traffic. It's a whole suite of platform services, including their own advertising network.
Which uses all that rich first-party shopper data that Walmart has.
At a scale that rivals dedicated ad tech firms.
Yeah.
They're creating this whole closed-loop digital ecosystem built around transactions. They're selling infrastructure, not just products.
And the CEO, Douglas McMillon, he made sure to hammer this point home, right?
He did. On a conference call back in November, he said, and I'm quoting here, that the results they're delivering today are powered by our people and by technology. He went on to say they continue to get better at putting our data to work, building more capable tech products and platforms, and by deploying physical automation.
It shows a complete strategic pivot away from just focusing on square footage.
A complete pivot.
And that kind of physical tech integration, it requires leadership that really gets the digital side of things, which is why the sources point to their succession plan as maybe the clearest sign of their commitment.
Absolutely. The planned leadership transition. We're talking about John Furner, who's the current head of Walmart US, being slated to succeed McMillon.
And this isn't just a standard promotion.
No, it's very different. McMillon made a point of highlighting Furner's digital acumen.
What does that actually mean for the next decade of Walmart? What's the mandate?
The mandate is no longer just about managing profit and loss statements in real estate. Furner's main responsibility, as McMillon described it, is to lead the company through an AI-driven transformation.
So not just using AI, but a full transformation.
It's not just executive buzzwords. It means implementing machine learning across the entire supply chain, pricing, and execution. This is crucial. Yeah. Customer interaction. The next leader is basically being hired to be the chief AI strategy officer for the world's largest retailer.
Which raises a really important question. What does this transformation look like for the customer? Because if this is a real tech company, you have to be able to see it, to feel it. It can't all be hidden in a warehouse.
And that's the most compelling part of the story for the market. They're moving AI out of the back office and putting it directly in front of you, the customer, in some really novel ways.
Shifting from reactive to proactive retail.
Exactly. From waiting for you to search for something to anticipating what you're going to buy next.
Okay, let's get into those tangible examples. One that stood out was using AI to ping customers on WhatsApp.
That's right. And this isn't just, a bulk text message. This is predictive analytics in action. The AI is looking at your past purchase history.
How often I buy coffee or diapers or whatever.
Right. And it cross-references that with external signals, things like the local weather forecast, school holidays, even local sports schedules.
And then it just messages me.
And then it pings you on an accessible platform like WhatsApp and asks if you want to stock up with a pre-made basket of the stuff you order all the time.
So the intelligence isn't just knowing what I bought, it's predicting when I'll run out based on all these other data points.
Exactly. It moves the whole interaction from a passive search box to an active conversation.
And they're building on that with the newest large language model.
They are. We saw them move really fast with the recent announcement about their partnership with Google.
To integrate with Gemini.
To make sure that when people are chatting in Gemini, Google's AI chat service, they can easily find and buy Walmart products right there in the chat.
And that came after a similar deal with OpenAI, the operator of ChatGPT.
Correct. So they're positioning themselves to be the default fulfillment engine, no matter which AI platform you're using.
So if we connect the dots here, they're not fighting for placement on a Google search results page anymore. They're fighting for a spot inside the AI's conversation with you.
The future of retail search isn't clicking a link. It's asking an AI agent, hey, I need ingredients for tacos tonight, and having that agent just handle the whole transaction for you.
This is what John Furner called agent-led commerce. We've heard the term, but let's break that down. Why is that the next great evolution?
Agent-led commerce basically means the AI takes on the whole job. It becomes your proxy shopper. You stop browsing and clicking.
You just state a need.
You just state a need, and the AI sources the product. It optimizes the price. It arranges the delivery. It removes all those human steps of comparison shopping. For a retailer like Walmart, the relationship shifts from a search query to a trust-based fulfillment mandate.
And this is why that Ferner quote is so important. He said this strategy is the next great evolution in retail.
Right. And then he added, crucially, we aren't just watching the shift, we are driving it.
That's a very confident, very Silicon Valley-esque thing to say.
For a company we usually associate with, physical stores.
And that confidence, backed by all this technical investment, has to be what's resonating with the market. How have investors reacted to this whole tech pivot?
Overwhelmingly positive. I mean, it confirms the validity of the strategy. The stock is up more than 3% just around the Nasdaq 100 announcement.
And over the last year.
It's added roughly 30% of its value over the past 12 months. It's sitting at or near record highs. It signals total investor buy-in.
So the argument that they're now part tech stock, part retailer has really landed. But let's play devil's advocate here for a second.
Good.
Walmart stock is up 30%, which is great. But Amazon is still valued far higher, and it's the undisputed leader in global cloud infrastructure. So isn't this index move mainly symbolic? A way to boost confidence rather than reflect true tech parity?
It's both. It's symbolic and it's functional. Functionally, it gives them access to a whole different pool of capital and forces more growth funds to even consider them.
Okay.
And symbolically, it just reinforces the whole narrative. And the sources show this is part of a broader trend. It's not just Walmart.
Right, we're seeing this everywhere.
From Target to even smaller companies like
yeah.
Wingstop. They're all loudly talking about their embrace of AI. And the reason is that investors are dedicating huge amounts of capital specifically to tech platforms and AI.
So being seen as AI-enabled attracts that growth capital.
And can justify a much higher valuation multiple than traditional retail ever could.
So, in effect, Walmart wanted recognition for its e-commerce and its platform strategy. And the market, first through the stock price and now the index managers, they're decisively giving them that recognition.
Precisely. This inclusion should permanently bolster that perception. They're no longer just being judged on same-store sales or foot traffic. They're being judged on digital acumen, platform monetization, and the sophistication of their AI.
So this deep dive really confirms a major strategic shift. Walmart's move to the Nasdaq 100. It validates their choice to define success not by their physical footprint anymore, but by their digital know-how and their platform development.
Especially the mechanics of their AI integration, from logistics all the way to how they talk to you, the customer.
Which leaves us with a really important question for you to think about as this all unfolds.
If the world's biggest physical retailer successfully argues that its future is agent-led commerce powered by AI, does this mean the traditional way we categorize companies is just going to cease to exist?
If the AI platform is the core value driver, more so than the actual product on the shelf or the store itself,
it suggests that almost all large consumer-facing businesses will eventually be seen as technology companies. And if that's the case, how does an index like the Nasdaq 100 evolve when every company claims to be a tech company?
it means that line between sectors isn't just blurring anymore.
It might be disappearing entirely.